It's time for Down on the Corner with Dale Hoffman, North Arkansas's premier news talk program. Brought to you by Brood Awakening Coffee, with 3 locations to serve you. Baxter Regional Medical Center lobby, Highway 62 412 at Balmer Boulevard, and the Walmart East Plaza. And now, Down on the Corner.
Good morning, North Central Arkansas. It is Wednesday, November 15th, 2017. I'm hearing rain on the roof. Hallelujah. We got some rain coming through. A little bit of thunder lightning this morning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good morning, everybody.
We're in that middle building where you get that nice sound.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome down on the corner program. Dale Hoffman, along with Jerry Hogan and Scott Callis, Scooter, as everybody knows him. And how's everybody doing today?
I'm actually really good today. I feel good.
Yeah, doing good.
Like I said, we need a little bit of rain, but the rain didn't drag me down. I'm doing good.
I like it.
I'm ready to go.
You got your Brood Awakening coffee?
Yep, I'm still trying to wake up myself. So.
Is it 10W30 today, or is it a little bit heavier?
I just had one drink of it.
I think mine's normal. It's just good old Brood Awakening.
Yeah,
as you heard in the introduction, Jacqueline told you we got 3 locations for Brood Awakening. We got Balmer Boulevard, Baxter Regional Medical Center lobby, and of course out by Anytime Fitness in the Walmart East Plaza. If you want the best coffee in town, it's Brood Awakening. Love that little logo right there, Brood Awakening Coffee. You did good on that, Scooter.
You are welcome.
Wow. I'm sure Mike enjoys it too. Check out the cinnamon rolls.
Oh, their cinnamon rolls are awesome.
And then I had, he says, oh, you got to try this. I had a little coffee cake. It's in a, you hear about muffins, but these muffins are like.
Did you have one too?
Well, I kind of didn't bring it in here. I kind of kept it at home so nobody knew I had it.
Well, I ate one. I don't know whose it was, but I ate that.
The one I brought over here?
Yeah.
It was good, wasn't it?
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Because I'm getting an issue. Because the only thing you bring us is cinnamon rolls. I didn't know they had anything else.
Well, I had 2. He took one, I kept one.
Yeah, I took it pretty quick. It didn't look like a cinnamon roll, and I was like, what is that? We had to find out.
A little bit sneaky,
Or aggressive, however you want to look at it.
Anyway, it's time for our morning prayers. Well, we start down on the corner with a morning prayer. Please join us. Heavenly Father, we've heard the old saying, stop beating a dead horse, and the media keeps using old tactics to destroy careers. Trump and Russia, wouldn't that have been found out long before the election? A man involved in international business might just have, dealt with Russia. Duh. And thus we could judge more in Alabama. Really, he's been in public service for over 40 years, and allegations just come out after the election. Lord, the thing is, we're tired of this stuff, and I pray that our leaders are successful, because when they're successful, we are successful. So help us to be positive and to support our leaders. That's my prayer today. Amen.
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 And so, weather-wise, brought to you by
Sears.
Hey!
Local hometown.
Local Sears.
Now, you worked at Sears for a while.
About 14 years.
Did they have a jingle?
Yeah, every time the door opened, you hear jingle, jingle, jingle.
No. I mean, they didn't have.
I don't think that's quite what he was.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't think they
so.
did.
No. They had that for years, they had the round logo, Sears, Roebuck and Company.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just known sometimes, I think most of it was red with white print, but they had that logo. Sears, when I worked there, Sears had always been. It was just, you go to Sears,
I worked for Sears for a while.
Yeah.
When they had Sears Home Life, their furniture department.
Yeah.
I worked for a company who did nothing else except work on their stuff when it was coming off the trucks.
Yeah.
So.
Well, they've had Kenmore and Whirlpool and Craftsman. Remember Cold Spot?
Yeah.
Sears Cold Spot?
Rings a bell.
Yeah, that goes back years and years and years and years.
And I'll bring up their logo so everybody.
Oh, you got a logo for Sears?
That's what it is now coming up. It's Sears.
There you go.
Home store, locally
Sears
owned.
Hometowns are locally owned and operated. You betcha. And I'm in there. I can't say I'm in there a lot, but I'm in there on a regular basis because of their tools. They got Craftsman tools, and I went in there. They had a great price on a leaf blower. Really good. A 2-speed vacuum leaf blower. Went in there. It was good price. Bought that. I can make a good mess with a good leaf blower.
Well, I need to get you on my roof and blow them gutters out, man.
I'll load it to you.
It's like a kid at Christmas with a new toy.
Yeah.
So
Woo! I could clean your desk off with that thing.
go ahead and come by my house and get a leaf or two.
The morning weather brought to you by your hometown Sears. They're in the same location. They're in the, what would you call it, the Orchlands area?
Yeah, you got Orchlands,
Sherman-Williams, and Sherman-Williams Sears right there. Right behind Wendy's.
There you go.
Right behind Wendy's. Can't miss that. 54 degrees at Mountain Home. Harrison at 55, 51 at Hardy. Shower activity over there as well. 52 at Mountain View. 57 in Yellville. Marshall at 52. 53 at Poplar Bluff, Missouri. 54 at Branson. And 50 in West Plains. We'll get to that radar. You ready for that radar stop there, Scooter?
Bet.
Here we go.
Right ahead.
This is our national radar, once again brought to you by your local hometown Sears store here in Mountain Home. See shower activity, basically Illinois and Indiana getting the brunt of it right now, with a little bit trailing down here in Arkansas and Missouri. I'm going to highlight this area right here in Springfield. We'll go to that short stop radar there, Scott. See shower activity is going to be popping up here in a minute. From Fort Smith to Branson, Mountain Home, West Plains, and it stretches all the way up just to the southeast of Jefferson City, Missouri. And that's Highway 63 that junctions Highway 70 there at Columbia. That's where the University of Missouri is located. I'm sure Quincy Kelly would enjoy that one. And so let's go back to the Little Rock radar and we'll check the click. There we go. Check your highways in Arkansas. 62, 412 east and west is going to be wet. I-49 is wet. I-40 around Fort Smith, as you can see right over here, is wet. I-40 around Little Rock is good till you get to West Memphis. You've got that line of showers right there at the river. I-30, Hot Springs down towards Texarkana, clear at this time, as you can see on the radar.
I am so glad that we brought the logo up early, because for some reason
It shrunk.
They all shrunk.
It's raining. That's why you got it wet.
Apparently got wet and shrunk. I will fix that, I promise. It will be legible. I don't know what happened.
Speaking of your local hometown Sears, if you've got, ladies, if you've got men in your family that need tools, go to Sears.
Yep. Can't go wrong with tools.
I've seen power saws, drills, drill presses, everything you need, mechanics tools, woodworking tools. Check them out.
They even have a camo freezer.
A what?
Camo freezer.
Why would if I couldn't see it, why would I mean?
Well, that keeps other people from seeing it too. Keeps them out of your food.
Check out their fine line of appliances. You won't beat Sears.
I'm moving it around the screen. This
I noticed
is a lot
that.
of fun. I'm trying to get it centered.
That's good. Scott's having so much fun this morning. First, he shrinks the logo. Then
I don't know what happened. They looked fine yesterday, and all of a sudden it rains and they shrink up. So it happens.
Seriously, folks, visit your hometown Sears store. Great family runs the Sears store, locally owned and operated. And Jerry and Scooter and I and all of us here at XL7 are trying to emphasize the fact, if you look at your calendar, Thanksgiving Day now just basically a week away, a week and a day away. But following Thanksgiving, you've got the 24th through the 30th, and dedicate that to shopping local.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of great merchants here in Mountain Home, Flippin, Yellville, Harrison, West Plains, Mountain View. Shop your local communities. Give these people a chance before you click on the computer or on your iPhone to buy something, and you know, the tax money comes back into each community, whether it's the state, the county, the city you shop at. So dedicate at least that week after Thanksgiving for local shopping. Jewelry stores, hardware stores, Sears, your local hometown Sears, you know.
Arts and crafts, food, whatever you call them. You pre-buy the food on a piece of paper.
Oh, gift cards?
Gift cards.
Yeah, gift cards, yeah.
It's
I
early,
know
man.
the big shopping time they call the Black Friday. You know, everybody going out. It's right around the corner. But here locally,
But do it local.
yeah, all the stores
Do
are
it
doing
local.
the same thing here.
If they've got a
locally.
Black Friday,
Yeah.
do it local
Yeah.
if that's your thing.
Absolutely.
Yep.
St. Peter the Fisherman Parish presents a teaching and exposition of sacred relics on Tuesday, November 28th at 6:30 p.m. at St. Peter the Fisherman Catholic Church. Friar Carlos Martins of the Companions of the Cross will be here with his very special ministry to teach about the holy relics. It's free to the public, and if you need more information, call 425-2832 extension 1. The program's called Sacred Relics of the Saints, Treasures of the Church at St. Peter the Fisherman Parish here in Mountain Home.
And my computer kind of went dead.
I
But
was about to say, Jerry's going to have to go off the cuff. His battery died
Memory.
about 15 seconds before.
But we do have something coming up November 18th, and we're going to be talking about that today. Before we get to that, I did go to Harrison yesterday and met a lot of fine folks out there, and one of them was Mickey Summers with North Arkansas College.
Yeah.
And so I told her she's going to get on board with us, but we're going to start incorporating a little more stuff
Good.
out of Harrison.
Good.
She
Awesome.
went down a long list of things they have going on, which is great. You do Mountain View, Mountain Home, Harrison, all points in between. You have plenty to do around
Oh, yeah,
here.
keep you running.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And then tomorrow. You want a good bowl of chili tomorrow night? You want a good bowl of chili?
Let me get the itch out of the way.
Yeah,
right now.
your nose always itches. Well, I itch when the TV cameras come on. Tomorrow night is the 4th annual chili and dessert auction. I'll hold that up so everybody can almost see that. Just don't shrink this one, Scooter.
Oh, I'm going to catch credit over that one.
The Mountain Home Christian Academy's 4th annual chili dinner and dessert auction is November 16th from 6 to 8. $7 for adults, $5 student ages 4 to 17, 3 and under are free. Chili will be served from 6 to 7 p.m. Boy, is it good.
I can eat some chili, man.
Let me tell you, it's going to be good. Come out and have a great time while helping raise funds for mandatory playground upgrades, teacher enrichment, gym equipment, and they'll also have kids bidding time by age and group with a $1 limit. Buy it now items, gift baskets for auction. Now, fair warning, they're going to have cakes and pies and cookies, and Chris Nassari is the auctioneer.
Right.
That's when your nose better not itch.
That's
You
right.
sit on your hands.
Scratch, scratch, scratch. Sold to the guy scratching his nose right there for $3,000. Whoa, time out.
Oh,
Chris.
can we talk about this?
Do you
that
have a
bid was-
part-time job I can take up? Pay
Talk-
this thing?
You got
Talk
dishes
to you
that
behind
need
the
water.
scenes there.
Wasn't that bid for $30? Chris Nassari does a great job. We always poke fun at him, but
That's another thing I saw in Harrison. I was up by the Wendy's and the hotels, and they had a Nassari up there.
really.
Yeah. Said, I'll be danged. I had
Oh,
no
what do
idea.
you know? What else you got, Jerry?
That's it, man. I'm just ready to get to the guests. And
Scooter, what's
start
on the menu
talking
today
about
for
something.
hold time?
All right, we have got breakfast burritos this morning. Hash browns comes with. These are loaded burritos. They're not your little tiny burritos. You've had them, Jerry.
Oh, yeah.
They are big burritos.
No, what
$5.88.
hasn't Jerry not had?
Nothing. I've had it all.
And then for lunch, we've got a choice. You can get either ham and beans,
Those are
which
good.
is really, really good, especially on a nice
Perfect
rainy
day
day.
for that.
Yeah. Or liver and onions. And both of them come with 2 sides. Roll of cornbread for $5.88.
I think the judge will be, or the mayor. Is it the mayor or the judge come over for ham and beans?
I think they both.
I think they both come.
The ham and beans are popular. She does such a great job with them. One thing I did want to mention,
Okay.
because for next week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we're running our Thanksgiving special.
Oh,
What's your
that's
holiday
good.
schedule? You closed on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we'll be closed on Thanksgiving all the way till that Monday. So
Really?
we're close through the weekend.
What am I going to do for breakfast on the 25th?
You have to come over to my house.
Okay, I'll be knocking on the door at 6:30
I am so
with the
sad I
whole
said
family.
Because there's
Scooter.
there's some people out there watching that say, "Hey, I know where he lives."
I do too. Breakfast at Scooter's house on the 25th.
There you go.
You better take us to break. We're going to get everybody in trouble.
Yeah, we're getting out of here.
We'll be right back.
You've tried medications just cover up the pain, and you've tried dieting to help lose weight. Before you try something drastic like surgery to get rid of the numbness and tingling, why don't you try a better approach to health? Hi, I'm Dr. Charles Osgood, and at Mountain Home Family Chiropractic, we heal the whole person the natural way.
At Mountain Home Family Chiropractic, we take a hands-on approach to chiropractic care, massage therapy, and nutritional counseling. Our 20 years of service has led to successful results.
When I come in to see Dr. Osgood, sometimes after one adjustment, I have immediate relief. Sometimes it takes 4 or 5 adjustments.
I recommend Mountain Home Family Chiropractic because it really works and keeps me pain-free.
Mountain Home Family Chiropractic supports the community by donating to Mountain Home Food Basket and the Lions Club. Request an appointment with us today at Mountain Home Family Chiropractic. Excellence for your body and frame alignment.
If you want the best breakfast or lunch in the Twin Lakes area, then you've got to come to the Old Time Restaurant. Voted the best breakfast and lunch for 2011, the Old Time Restaurant not only gives you the Southern hospitality right when you walk in the door, they also offer scrumptious breakfast options to curb that early morning appetite. Or stop in later in the day for a tasty sandwich, salad, or a daily special. If a sweet tooth is your guilty pleasure, you can't go wrong with the Pie Lady cooking out over 30 different types of pies. That's the Old Time Restaurant located on the square in Mountain Home. Coming in 2018, VHF Archery Range, brought to you by DeerHunterFan.com TV and Steadyform. This 10,000 square foot indoor climate-controlled archery range will feature 3D targets, 3D pop-up, and state-of-the-art video shooting. DHF Archery Range will be open to the public and available for all ages. It's a great facility for hunters and archers alike and located in the center of the Ozarks in beautiful Bull Shoals, Arkansas. That's DHF Archery Range, coming in 2018. Keep on the lookout for more details and their grand opening announcement soon.
Diatley Dental Care is a family-owned dental practice. Doctors Irvin and Christina Diatley grew up in the Twin Lakes area and are proud to serve the community. With modern treatment methods and state-of-the-art technology, they are dedicated to providing exemplary care to patients of all ages. Our compassionate team consistently receives training above and beyond the standard of care.
We're changing the way you see dentistry.
Come be a part of our dental family.
They said, I'm not ready to move. I'm not ready for such a change. I'm not ready to give up my independence. Then, after receiving a lot of love and encouragement, they moved to the Good Samaritan Society. They said, I should have done it years ago.
Senior care and services from the Good Samaritan Society.
And welcome back to Down on the Corner program on this November 15th. Rain in the area. Yes, glad to see that. And, well, how can I introduce everybody? Bingo, Bango, Bongo, and Irving. How's that? You know where it comes from?
No.
Jerry's, he's too young. Remember Gilligan's Island and they had the mosquitoes show up? The name of that group was Bingo, Bango, Bongo, and Irving. Jerry Hopper, Bill Webster are here. And I'm going to let Jerry do some talking here.
Which one?
You.
Oh, okay.
The slow one.
Okay. Well, y'all get comfortable. We're going to be here a while.
And that'd be one sentence.
That's it.
Jerry's so slow that when he passes away, it take him 3 days to fall over.
That's right. Hey, life's better when you go slow. Think quick, talk slow.
So you got a big gospel concert coming up there.
Yep, Twin Lakes Baptist Church, Saturday, November 18th at 6 p.m. It's going to be featuring the one and only Jerry Hopper. And Jerry, I'm going to let you talk a little bit about these groups going to be with you. What is this 4+1 quartet? I guess we'll start there.
His microphone. See that there you go. Keep going. Keep going. Got to see that face, dude. Got to see that face.
4+1 is a quartet from our church out there. Daryl Young and Robert, and I can't remember all of them, but good quartet. And this For His Praise quartet is some young ladies from Salem, and it's kind of unusual to see a all women quartet, you know, but they sing good. And Southern Faith.
They out of Calico?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wade Mosier. In fact, Wade pastors a church around Calico there somewhere, and they got a real good group. And then I should have left the S off of friends because I think I've only got one friend left playing. The people are going to sing with me from Branson. Gary's dad passed away, and so I'm on my own. But that's all right. I've done it by myself before.
Now, to say Jerry Hopper's not been doing this for a while, be a lie. But look at here, folks. Jerry brought this in to me. This is a 45 RPM record here, Jerry Hopper. See that?
Nice.
Yeah, we're going to get him a CD copy. That we'll put that on the turntable at home and run the MP3 file on that one.
That is cool.
Is that cool? Where'd you do that at, Branson?
Branson.
Yeah. How many years ago was that?
I don't know. It's back in the
Let's see,
80s, 84 or 5 probably, or 6.
See if there's any copyright date on this. I don't see one. Huh. That makes you just hear it.
I wrote the song, so
Yeah.
it probably don't even have a copyright. Nothing else I write does.
Pretty good. You've been in this a while.
I wrote that for the sesquicentennial, 150 years of Arkansas, and that was
19. There it is on front cover.
1986. Yeah.
Huh. And then Bill Webster's here. Good to see you.
Nice to see you, buddy.
So what's going on at Alpha House?
Well, this is our 16th year, and we're moving right along. We got almost a full house right now, and Jerry has. I used to go down to Jerry's place and have dinner and take my granddaughter in. And I would get there to dance with my little 5-year-old granddaughter, and Jerry would walk over to the piano and start playing so we could dance, have music to dance. It was so cute. So my granddaughter loved that. But we're doing good. We're thankful to Jerry and his friend for putting this benefit on for the men's shelter, and we're really excited about it. And I think it's going to be a fun event. Where people are going to have fun there, and so we're doing real well at the shelter. People are, of course, we're always trying to find ways to get support and get people involved. Most of the time we don't have enough people that, they have the impression that maybe the shelter is a mission field for them, and they don't realize that they're somebody's brother or somebody's father, and so I tell them, I says, well, they don't lack hearing about God, but what they could probably use is a cheeseburger and fries. So it's time that we start looking at these people like real human beings, and treating them as such, because they understand where they've been, and they understand what they've done, but so many of them don't have any hope that their lives can ever change, because they've got so many strikes against them already that they, so they don't have any hope. And our job.
So how do you regenerate that hope?
Well, the thing about it with hope, you don't go back and try and fix the past.
You can't.
You can't fix it, and you
can't replace it either.
No, and so the formula that we work with is. We have 3 circles. We have the little tiny circle in the middle are the things that you're aware of and you can do something about, like brushing your teeth or shaving or whatever. The second circle, the bigger circle, is a circle that things that you're aware of but you can't do anything about. And the third circle is the things you're not aware of and you can't do anything about it anyway, and that's like what's happening in the Middle East. We're not really privy to the private stuff there. Well, these guys usually gravitate out to the outer circle. There's something there, I don't know what to call it. I have pain, but I don't know what to call that. And so what ends up happening, their whole life is surrounded by misbeliefs, lies. And so when they go to somebody, like they go to you, Dale, they say, Dale, I need some help. And you say, well, what do you need? And they say, well, I'm having this problem, and this problem. And you spend a lot of time trying to help them fix that problem, but that's not really their problem. There's a drug addict doing drugs is not an issue. It's really not. No more than an alcoholic drinking alcohol is an issue. It's why you do it.
Yeah.
And if you don't go back and say, okay, I'll tell you what we're going to do. Let's start today. Right? We're going to create hope for today. We can't create any hope for last week because that time's gone. But we can create hope. And it's by giving them some tasks that they can do, showing them by example. Some of the best counseling sessions I have is I'll take the guys out on when I go visit somebody, or if I do something, or for just to McDonald's. You need to get them back in society where they'll know what it is that they're doing and how positive it can be. But they've been told, and that's like when they come by and they say, well, this person's lazy. Well, I don't believe in laziness. I don't believe it. I think what ends up happening, it's a natural human instinct for us to want to hear, you did a good job, right? We want to hear you did a good job. Yeah. If you live in an environment where no matter what you do, it's always a negative response. I don't care what it is. You never do anything right. So
do they give up?
Yeah, they do, because what
or
happens?
Shut down.
Yeah, because they say, well, whenever I try and do something, I get a negative response. So it's not that they don't want to do something, because guess what? We all want to hear "good job," but they never hear that.
But what about the work skills to do a particular job?
Well, the thing about it is they're so embarrassed that they don't have any skills that they automatically, when the first thing that person does when they comes to the shelter is they give you their resume. I know how to do this, I know how to do this, I know how to do this, and I know this. And they're doing that because they're embarrassed that they're in a homeless shelter. And so instead of trying to make them prove it, you try and gear away from that. And I tell the guys when they get to the shelter, I says, I don't care what you've done before you got here. I only care about what you do once you get inside the house. I don't care about the past. You want to talk about it? We'll talk about it. But we can't go back and fix all that stuff. I can't fix the fact that your parents didn't love you and didn't care about you. My parents didn't love me either. And I turned out okay, but there was a point in my life where, guess what? You have to make it you have to change, but you need someone there to help prop you up while you're making this change. Not do the change for you, but help you to get through what you're going through. And I've had 1,000 guys in 16 years at the shelter. And it's not, and the statistics are just straight out. 95% of the guys that come to the shelter come from dysfunctional families. 70% have been physically abused. 40% have been sexually abused.
Men.
And probably 75% of them have a child somewhere. And out of those, probably maybe 5 or 6% were married. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to balance their life out, because they find this woman who is in a bad situation and she has 2 kids, and this person lost his wife and he has a couple of kids, but he was in a drunken stupor or drugs or just whatever, and everything went south. So the first thing he wants to do is, his previous relationship is gone. The first thing he wants to do is get into this new relationship and rectify everything. Oh. And he's not qualified. They don't have the. So I've had guys here that had anger issues with their 4-year-old son. Wife had to call him and put a protective order in. This was a 24-year-old man staying at the shelter, and he came to me one day. We were talking. He came to me. He just started crying. Like, what's the matter? He says, I don't know how to be a father. I didn't have a father. I don't know how to be a father, so I get frustrated and I just get angry. So he's
mad at himself, taking it out on somebody else.
Yeah. So what I did was I talked to his wife, and I told him, I says we're going to pick the boy up, and me and him are going to go out, and that's when the zone was here.
Yeah.
And so we took him out in a go-kart race. Took him out to lunch, and I told him, I says, I'll be your daddy. It says, and I'll teach you how to be a father. So it actually takes personal involvement. You can't just do it from afar.
Wow.
But I will tell you this, there are heartbreaks. I've seen men die. And I've learned a lesson. You don't judge anybody right out of the get-go. You never know what time. There's some people in town that are business people. I'm not going to tell you their names, but they have very close relatives that everybody in the family gave up on. Everybody gave up on him. Came to the shelter, and he was able to coach him in doing the correct things, and guess what happened? Now he's back with his family. They're doing great. But there was a bunch of people who gave up on that guy. So my job is I have to look at men through God's eyes. And my heart's not good enough, because my heart's judgmental and my heart's, conditional. But I'm a born-again Christian, so guess what? I'm using God's heart. That's the only way I can get through this. I can't use my own.
Wow.
And so when you look at somebody, he says, okay, fine, this person right here needs some help. So I have to see him through God's eyes. And so when you look at the homeless situation, most homeless situations in Mountain Home, the general public has no idea what is going on. They don't. It's tragic. I feel very, very sad for the children. Very, very sad. And not that I think the parents should be taken out and shot, But I think the thing about it is they need to be educated. They have to be. And we have to get into the family before it implodes to work that out first. Because if we don't, and some of the older guys here, there was a time a long time ago when it wasn't nowhere near the way it is now.
Yeah.
I mean, I can remember going to my grandmother's house, even though I was in the ghetto. I remember going to my grandmother's house on Sunday, every single Sunday, and have Sunday dinner.
Oh, yeah.
That was part of the deal. And everybody sat around and visited, and we had dinner. We had a good time. You almost never see that
in the
anymore.
Summertime. The guys go out and pitch horseshoes,
Oh,
or
yeah.
remember croquet, that yard game?
You betcha.
Yeah, remember that
game ever.
Yeah.
So hopefully, getting awareness and let people understand that it's not going away. The reason why you don't have a tent city here is because it's barely kept under wrap. But if we don't do something about it, at some point, it's going to be Memphis.
Yep.
Yep.
Hold that thought. We're visiting with Jerry Hopper, Jerry Hogan, and Bill Webster of Alpha House. It's time for a break. You can hear the rain hitting the roof. Yeah, I love the rain. Sounds like if I want to go to sleep. Nap time, Jerry. Scooter, take us to break, will you? We'll be right back.
Would I recommend Hospice of the Ozarks? Because I know the people that work there, I know their hearts, and I know that their desire is to help people with the suffering and the anxiety and the things that can come with either terminal diagnosis or a terminal condition. We want them to have a peace of heart and to have a comfort and to know that someone's there to help them through that so they can enjoy the time that they have.
More than just propane, Reeves Propane provides you full-service propane delivery as well as tank and piping installation. We are your dependable choice, offering the very best in personal service with on-time deliveries and competitive prices. Reeves Propane also sells and installs tankless water heaters and appliances and can even convert your gas cook stove to liquid propane. So no need to fuss and cuss about bad service. Call us at Reeves Propane. We greatly appreciate your business and God bless.
Have you ever noticed every time you wash your car, you end up wetter than the actual car? Next time, run down to Car Care and let the friendly staff put a smile on your face. Car Care of Mountain Home has a variety of services to clean your vehicle's needs, inside and out. From a simple wash and shine to their outstanding detailed services. Located 1525 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. Stop by Car Care Mountain Home today, because driving a clean car always makes you feel good.
Hello, I'm Charles Ferguson. Here at Mountain View Chevrolet, we still do business the old-fashioned way with honesty and integrity. And we have a good inventory of new Chevy cars, trucks, and SUVs from large to small. Our service department has all GM certified technicians, and our friendly salespeople are ready and eager to fit a car truck to your needs in a price range you can afford. We also have a lot full of pre-owned cars and trucks, program and new car trade-ins to choose from. So come see us at Mountain View Chevrolet.
Your White River Getaway starts at Cotter Trout Lodge, where you find convenient, clean, and affordable accommodations right in the heart of Cotter, Arkansas. Take advantage of the Natural State Fly Shop across the road for all your supplies and guided fly fishing needs. Countless delicious homemade menu options await to satisfy your hunger cravings at the White Sands Cafe. Your complete White River Getaway is cradled in the east arm of the historic Ruthven Rainbow Bridge at the Cotter Trout Lodge, Natural State Fly Shop, and the White Sands Cafe.
Jim Brown Company keeps you cool when it's hot and warm when it's not. A trusted name in the mountain home community, Jim Brown Company provides timely heating and cooling installation and repairs. Our certified technicians incorporate new technology on every job to provide you with the most advanced services. At our metal fabrication shop, we handle projects big and small. We've created everything from commercial ducts to custom designs.
I'd recommend Jim Brown Company to my friends and neighbors. The reason being they have high-tech equipment, their service techs are well qualified for the job that they do, and they also send me a report after all the work is done so I know exactly what my unit's doing.
By visiting our showroom, you can learn all about our heating and cooling products. We'll educate you on your options and help you decide on the right solution. For total comfort at your home or business, choose Jim Brown Company. Quality service with a family name since 1964.
we're back down on the corner. What time is it? 7:34 in the morning. We've got rain hitting the roof. Sounds so good out there. Hey, you just saw the ad for Jim Brown Company. For all your heat and air needs, give Jim Brown Company a call. Top-notch company, been here forever in half a day. Right?
Yep. Day and a half.
Hometown. There you go. Hometown. Yep. Well, we're visiting with Jerry Hopper and Bill Webster. Scooter and Jerry's here as well. What else we need to talk about, guys?
Where is Alpha House?
It's one block off of College Street, and it's at 424 East 7th. And we used to have the little house across the street, which is just really bad. And we were able to get this other house. And so it's really, and we put an addition onto it. We got a grant, and we put a big, giant bedroom in the back. So, but it's, come by and see it. Yeah. It's always clean, and it's always nice, and there's probably always like donuts or something on the table.
I'll be there.
There you go.
You have to get Bill to tell you about they got a special award from Washington D.C.
You did
one time, yeah. Tell them about that, Bill.
We had we applied for a grant with the Department of Labor, and so it was $50,000 we got from the Department of Labor, and every quarter we only got it for 1 year, but every quarter you have to file like your financials online. And the last question on the online stuff that you do says, do you have a success story? So every quarter I sent a success story. Well, at the end of when President Bush left office, he was making a book called 50 Stories from 50 States. So I'm there at the shelter, and I get this registered letter from the White House. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. So I opened it up, and the story that I wrote, one of the four, won for the state of Arkansas for all 8 years. So there was 165 nonprofits in the state of Arkansas that filed reports over an 8-year period, and a little 8-bed shelter in Mountain Home, Arkansas won the award. So I got calls, and I got letters from senators and governors and everybody, and they sent me a nice from the White House, congratulations type thing, and but it was it was hard to believe, and it was basically about a young man who lived in California, and he stayed at the shelter, and his parents were a train wreck, and his life was burglary and theft and doing drugs. And he came to the shelter, and we had an argument one time, because I make sure everybody understand who's the alpha male there. So we had a little bit of a discussion one time, and the very next day I saw him there at the shelter, and he says, Bill, he says, after you left yesterday, I thought of 3 ways that I was going to kill you. And anyway, all that went through, and he ended up accepting the Lord. And I wrote the story about him, because his whole life changed drastically. He went to college and had kids and the whole 9 yards. And so we won this award, and the magnitude of it is for 8 years, there were 165 nonprofits in the state of Arkansas that sent every quarter these success stories, and the Alpha House won it. So it was crazy good.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was crazy good.
Over the past several years, Bill and everybody else, we talk about, and the sheriff comes in, we talk about repeat offenders. And of course, that's a big situation between the Sheriff's Association and the governor, because, the governor doesn't want to spend the money to build new prisons in Arkansas, but yet we're turning people out. And Sarah Forrest came down from Channel 3 and did a thing on the sheriff's office a year or 2 years ago, said one guy was in and out of jail 58 times.
Yeah.
We got repeat offenders. Has there been a study on the criminal mind? I can drive through a residential neighborhood and not pay a bit of attention what's sitting in the driveway, what's on the front porch, or even I wonder if they got diamonds or rubies in that house.
Right.
I wonder if they got a big screen TV. I could care less. I don't think that.
Right.
But yet, last night on KY3 News, they had a camera. You've got doorbells now that have cameras so you can watch the front door. They've actually got people following UPS and FedEx trucks and seeing where they stop so they can steal the package after FedEx and UPS leaves it on the porch.
Wow.
So why the criminal mind? I don't understand.
Well, I will tell you that it's been my experience, and I grew up in this environment in L.A. I was homeless at 12 and went the whole abuse, overdose, and all that madness. But what I've come to figure out over the last probably 18 years is that the big word here is hope. You have somebody who they've dug themselves in a hole that they can't get out of. They don't know how to get out of it. And so they have no hope. So what they do is, I had a guy stay at the shelter that had 3 child supports that he was had to pay. He worked 2 jobs. He ended up getting a 3rd job. And he'd go out. One of his jobs was starting at 10 o'clock at night at one of the hotels, doing. But he worked all the time. He couldn't pay his bills. And everybody was on about the child support, pay, and he couldn't pay it. Now, I'm not, not understanding the predicament that he's in, because guess what? I mean, it's not anybody's fault but your own. But he dug himself in a hole, and like so many, do not realize the depth of the hole until they look at the top of where they need to go, and they go, wow, I'm never going to get this done. And so what they do, they take the path of least resistance, and that is to sell drugs. That's the fastest, quickest money you can make. And so what they do is they go out and they'll sell drugs, and then they'll get caught because water seeks its own level. I mean, they're going to get caught at some point, and now it's the worst situation in the world. We deal with people that have horrific past, and when you look at the situation, and there's no easy fix for it. There's just not. I mean, there's people that say, well, they constantly get in this situation. They constantly do drugs, and they constantly do this, and they constantly do that. And they say, well, they're just not making good choices.
Well, the desperation's setting in.
It is, and they make foolish decisions. I was at a time in my life when I was a young kid. I'm telling you, I've been in situations where there was no good decision. There was 3 of them, and all 3 of them were bad. There was just nothing else to lean to. Now, it's okay to sit in the bleachers and say, okay, fine, you should have done this, do this. But that's like if you play football, you watch a professional football game, and you have this guy running with a ball, and he's got 2,000 pounds of beefcake running behind him, getting ready to dog him real bad. And everybody in the stands goes, you missed your blocker, you missed your blocker. And I'm thinking to myself, are you kidding me? If I had that much meat trying to run me down, I'd be having a hard enough time just figuring out how to breathe right, So, but when you're in that situation, it's not like that. And some guys do stuff that I've seen guys commit suicide, and, they just ran out of options.
So they've lost hope.
Yeah, they've lost hope. And I get called quite frequently from Baxter Regional. They have somebody that's on the 6th floor that's suicidal or this or that. And I go there, and that's exactly, I asked one guy one time, I says, well, why'd you try to kill yourself? And he told me, he says, well, I ran out of options. And it wasn't crying, excited, it's just simple. I ran out of options. And when people lose hope, and then the one thing about it is, God is the God of hope, but you're dealing with somebody who doesn't believe that. And just because you say it doesn't make it true in their eyes. If you swim over to me here, or if you do this, it'll be okay. They don't see that. So what you have to do is you have to swim out to them.
Yeah.
Grab them.
Yeah.
Bring them back in.
So then a lot of the repeat offenders comes the fact that they've just lost all hope, and they're just grasping for any brass ring that comes around or gold ring comes around the merry-go-round.
Yeah, you take someone, a case in point would be a person gets on disability. They make $600 a month or whatever. Now, some of the HUD housing they can't get because they got a criminal record, or they got felonies, or this or that, or one thing and another. So they're already set up to fail. And so how do you fix all this? Well, the hard, cold truth is that you're not going to fix it. You're going to do the best you can with what you have to work with. But I'll tell you right now, the success rate at the shelter is probably 18 to 20% on a good year. It's not because they don't all get the same stuff. Everybody gets the same stuff. But, we're responsible to them. We're not responsible for them. We can't control what their decisions are. Why is it some person over here hears one of Jerry Hopper's songs and says, man, that's the most righteous thing I ever heard, and the guy sitting next to him thinks, man, I hate that song. You have no control over what a person's going to do in a situation. Now, I would never say that because everybody's...
You better like this song.
That's right. So, but we're in a tough fight here, a very, very tough fight. And in order to do more, we need to have more funding so that we can do more. I mean, I had a guy just the other day. Luckily, our washer was still under warranty, but we had one of the guys went in the laundry room and just fried the washer. The washer for the clothes. And I've had guys blow up. I mean, it just happens. But we're not dealing with people that knows how to take care of stuff. The two major categories that are with the men that come to the shelter is, one is they reject authority. Mm-hmm. Almost 100% of them. Number two, they are what's the word I'm looking for here? They don't care about themselves. They have I just lost the word there. But anyway,
their self-esteem
issues. Well, they don't take care of themselves. I forgot. But anyway, they don't take care of themselves, and they have no relevance about themselves, and they also they reject authority. So you try to help them out and give them some counseling, they won't listen to it, because the guy that used to give them the counseling smacked them around, or told them this, or told them that, or wasn't there when they needed them. And people that don't care about themselves because there's nothing to do that. I've had guys come there and say, I said, well, what do you want to do? So I want to get a job and get on my feet. I said, what's your goal? And he says, to get a job and get on my feet. That's not a goal. That's something that you do to achieve a goal. But getting a job is something that you just do because that's the way you able to have a place to sleep and a place to eat. But all they can see is that right here in front of my face right now. They can't see anything further than that.
Wow.
Because their families, for the most part, a lot of them, not all of them, but some of them, have been like that. And it's like a generational curse because that's what they've learned and that's what they do and then that's what they teach. We have to break that cycle, and the only way to do that, we need to show them hope.
Yep.
So
the concert is this Saturday, is that right? Where'd that fly?
Yep.
Well, I see it hanging on the monitor right there.
Saturday night, 6 o'clock.
Got it, over at Twin Lakes Baptist.
Yep.
Scooter, can we bring up that radar real quick before we go to break? Yeah, we got the local radar stop here, brought to you by your hometown Sears. A lot of rain activity from Fort Smith to Mountain Home right now.
Local radar.
Yeah, local radar.
Got you.
There we go. There's that local radar. If you're hearing the rain in Mountain Home, that's what we're dealing with. West Plains, Mountain Home, looks like all the way back into Flippin, Yellville, down to Fort Smith area, being affected by the rain. Now, we can go to break, Scooter.
All right.
We'll be right back.
The best breakfast or lunch in the Twin Lakes area, then you've got to come to the Old Time Restaurant. Voted the best breakfast and lunch for 2011, the Old Time Restaurant not only gives you the Southern hospitality right when you walk in the door, they also offer scrumptious breakfast options to curb that early morning appetite. Or stop in later in the day for a tasty sandwich, salad, or a daily special. If a sweet tooth is your guilty pleasure, you can't go wrong with the Pie Lady cooking out over 30 different types of pies. That's the Old Time Restaurant located on the square in Mountain Home. Coming in 2018, VHF Archery Range, brought to you by DeerHunterFan.com TV and Steadyform. This 10,000 square foot indoor climate controlled archery range will feature 3D targets, 3D pop-up, and state-of-the-art video shooting. DHF Archery Range will be open to the public and available for all ages. It's a great facility for hunters and archers alike and located in the center of the Ozarks in beautiful Bull Shoals, Arkansas. That's DHF Archery Range coming in 2018. Keep on the lookout for more details and their grand opening announcement soon.
Diatley Dental Care is a family-owned dental practice. Doctors Irvin and Christina Diatley grew up in the Twin Lakes area and are proud to serve the community. With modern treatment methods and state-of-the-art technology, they are dedicated to providing exemplary care to patients of all ages. Our compassionate team consistently receives training above and beyond the standard of care.
We're changing the way you see dentistry.
Come be a part of our dental family.
They said, I'm not ready to move. I'm not ready for such a change. I'm not ready to give up my independence. Then, after receiving a lot of love and encouragement, they moved to the Good Samaritan Society. They said, I should have done it years ago.
Senior care and services from the Good Samaritan Society.
why would I recommend Hospice of the Ozarks? Because I know the people that work there, I know their hearts, and I know that their desire is to help people with the suffering and the anxiety and the things that can come with either terminal diagnosis or a terminal condition. We want them to have a peace of heart and to have a comfort and to know that someone's there to help them through that so they can enjoy the time that they have.
More than just...
Oh, there he is.
And we're back on Down on the Corner program, 7:50 on this Wednesday the 15th. A lot of rain. You seeing Jerry walking around with the Brewed Awakening coffee pot over there? Be sure to check out Brewed Awakening. 3 locations to serve you here in Mountain Home. And we're visiting with Jerry Hopper and Bill Webster of Alpha House. And let's reiterate a little bit. We've got a big concert coming up on the 18th at Twin Lakes Baptist to support Alpha House.
Yeah. You know, the station here is big on local, keeping your money local and buying stuff local. And people don't realize it takes over $5,000 a month to keep this house open down here. So,
you know, that's a lot of money, but it's not a lot of money.
No.
How you can do it on $5,000 a month is admirable.
Well, it's actually probably closer to 50 something, 5,600 or something. Right.
But even 60, what's that, 72,000 a year?
Yeah, so
you're doing it under $100,000 a year.
Yeah. And we've been a good steward of the money too. I mean, we have a house that's paid for.
Yeah.
And we don't owe any bills or anything. So, but the maintenance is crazy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that we take care of that people in the neighborhood don't know. Like, they will have guys come into town, and they need a place to stay, but what they really need is a bus ticket. They need to get back with their family. So it's hard sometimes to come by that money. So we may buy them a bus ticket and take them to Harrison to hop on a bus because they need to go home to their family. You know, and we always check them out to make sure they don't have any outstanding warrants or anything, so we don't want to, you know, get them out of town when they're not supposed to be. But there's a lot of stuff. I mean, we've bought air conditioners for somebody to leave the shelter, and they have a wife and 2 little kids, and it's during the summer, and they don't have an air conditioner for the little kids. You know, and so we would go and buy them an air conditioner and let them put it in the children's bedroom. So we do a lot of stuff. One of the most outstanding things that I saw was one year after Bible study one night. It was around Christmas time, and all the guys went outside and they went to the food storage area we have, and they're putting food in brown paper bags. And I go, "What are you guys doing?" Because we had a lot of food in that time. They said, well, there was some people that were at the church, and they have like a lot of kids, and they don't have very much food, so we thought we'd bring them some food. Wow. And I thought, how righteous is that? A homeless man with a mentality that he can reach out to somebody with kids.
Somebody else. Wow.
That was awesome.
But now you can take monthly gifts from anybody. You're 501c3, so you can budget it in.
Sure. The
end of the year tax write-offs are coming up.
Oh, yeah, isn't that handy? But one of the things too is that in order for us to function, it would be great if there was a way that we could somehow get consistent donors, either once a year or once a month or whatever, so that we can budget things out. Because
when it all comes in a lump, you don't know.
You have no idea, and then so all of a sudden, I mean, the way it is now, the budget that we have, about 60% of the revenue that we need is accounted for. 40%, and this has been for 16 years, about 40% of the money never counted. I mean, it just shows up.
Wow.
And it's strange. I mean, it can be any. I had somebody send me a check for $10,000 one time from Minnesota.
Wow.
And I had there's a doctor's wife here in town that very older couple, but anyway, they're not married anymore. But anyway, every once in a while she'll send me $2,500, and I mean, there's people that just do that.
Yeah.
But it's like,
but if you had 10 people giving 1,000 on a regular basis, that'd help.
Oh man, tremendous. And I have some people that a lady and her husband here in town, they give us $250 every quarter. There's $1,000 a year, you know.
And it helps.
It helps. It all helps.
That's why we're trying to do this concert here, and if this works like we think it will, we'll just call this the first annual, and we'll do it again next year.
Right.
And if we need to, we'll do it twice a year. Whatever we got to do.
6 o'clock on the 18th at Twin Lakes Baptist Church. Jerry Hopper and friend.
Yep.
And friend.
And other quartets and singing groups going to be out there.
Yeah. Be a good night.
I think it's going to be I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be fun.
There's no admission fee, to get in, but we're going to charge you to get out. No, really. No, we
That's right.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate the donations and see what we can do.
And for those that don't know, I got introduced to Hopper, our Fall Fest, and then you come into the Mountain Country studio. But you play the old classic songs, old Jerry Lee Lewis and Vern Gosden.
Yeah.
And can you name off a few there that somebody might be able to hear? You probably didn't even make a song list, did you?
No.
You're just going to do it when you get there.
I play. No, I don't even know yet what I'm doing.
Just whatever somebody shouts out, I want to hear that.
That's right.
I know the only song I know for sure I'm doing, I'm going to do a song called The Anchor Holds.
Oh, yeah.
If I don't get their attention.
That's a Ray Bolt song, ain't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool. Wow. November 18th, 6 o'clock, Twin Lakes Baptist Church, free concert. We ain't going to charge you to get in, but we better pay to get out. I love it. We ain't going to charge you to get in, we're going to charge you to get out.
Yeah.
So, anything else, Bill? Jerry?
If anybody wants to send a donation to Alpha House, if anybody wants to send a donation to the Alpha House, how would they do that?
They could send it to P.O. Box 1396, Mountain Home, Arkansas, and you can make it out to Alpha House.
And it's 72654 on the P.O. Box, right?
Yeah, dash 1396, right.
All right, we've got rain in the area. Scooter, let's hit that radar one more time. Let me bring that image up and refresh, then you can take a look at that. We got rain from Mountain Home to Fort Smith. Good shower activity right now. Boy, we need that.
Yeah, that's a pretty good band across there.
It sure is.
I've been raking leaves in the yard, and it's dusty.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. And the grass, it's pretty bad when the grass gets dusty.
Yeah, it is. I'm going to refresh that one more time. Weather radar brought to you by your hometown Sears store. And let's talk a little bit, guys. We've got about 2 minutes before we have to end the show. Everybody here knows the importance of keeping the money local. Especially Bill, what if somebody's supporting what you do similar in Dallas or St. Louis or Springfield, it's not helping here.
Right.
And when you bring the money into Alpha House here, it's spent local to support this local
everything
effort.
Everything we buy for the shelter is local. I get all the appliances that we need local. I have relationships with like Shay's Appliance, and Kelly's been real nice to us. In fact, they come out, a whole crew, every Christmas and sing carols at the shelter, which we really look forward to. But it's very important, and I'm sort of one of these guys that's very faithful. I've been doing this business with the same bait. First year I've been for ever since the shelter's been open, and they've helped us. Ever since it's been open. So I believe that, people that donate money to Mountain Home, the money needs to stay in Mountain Home. Mm-hmm. Because there's people out here that just really, really need some help, and there's people that just don't have any money. And so I think, we need to take care of our home base here, and I always have a little bit of higher priority for people that live in this area than people that would call. I've had people call me from Florida. And so we're coming up there, and I was wondering if you had any room in your shelter. I said, well, you better make sure you have a job and a place to live before you come all the way to Mount Home.
Yeah.
Just because you heard it's a nice place. But so anyway, but we're very proud that we're a community service here.
Real quick, November 18th, 6 o'clock, Twin Lakes Baptist Church, Jerry Hopper and friend, along with other quartet singing groups. Scooter, we ready to go home with this?
Yeah, stay tuned, though. Up next, Jim Bumgarner out of Harrison. See what's going on in Harrison.
See you tomorrow, everybody. Thanks.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.